there are some issues that are reared their ugly head again. Ghana government has imposed a curfew on Bawku because we over the weekend especially there were some I think it's up to 20 people now or so that have lost their lives.
20?
Yeah,
We've
up
gotten
to
there.
20, yeah, because we heard some 12 people. I think the Ghanaian Times has that. If you can just check that. The Ghanaian Times says 20 shot dead, many injured. Okay, renewed Bawku chieftaincy conflict. I think I'll read it from the Ghanaian Times. Let me just go to page 3 there, and it says that this is a story by Francis Dagbang in Bawku. The renewed, so the headline is renewed Bawku chieftaincy conflict, 20 shot dead, many others injured. The renewed chieftaincy clash in Bawku of the Upper East region has left at least 20 people dead, while other victims suffered serious gunshot wounds. Now, 2 were shot dead at their Zongo residence in the township at about 12 a.m. at dawn yesterday, while 8 met their untimely demise after assailants attacked them in Bawku Township in the afternoon of Sunday. Now, similarly, 3 young men believed to be in their late 20s and early 30s were on board a mini vehicle, were accosted on the route to the Bawku Technical Institute, and they were shot multiple times, leading to their death. And a reprisal attack from angry youth also mobilized and attacked houses in about 4 communities, resulting in 7 additional deaths. This has brought the death toll to 20 within 3 days of violence and reprisal attacks in Bawku. Now, this, I don't know what your take on all this is. And again, I don't know if this is different from those that we actually reported, the Bolga highway, incident and all of that.
I heard the MPP, the MPP parliamentary candidate talking about it on CTAFM yesterday, where he mentioned that the people they had waylaid the people on the highway and stopping the various cars and asking for ID.
Yes.
Once they identify your name as one. Listen, how barbaric can we get with ourselves? Are we that heartless? Over what? Over what? What's there? Over what? Kweku Davis. Over what? So then, student. Going to school.
Yes.
Having shots dead and armed. Over what?
And I'm sure they were not the only ones in the vehicle. They just stopped the vehicle, identified them in the vehicle, and then shot them.
Oftentimes they've gone to the market and started firing, and women and children, poor women who had gone to a place to go and sell whatever it is, to make a living. They have to be running. Okay?
Yeah.
I mean, why? What is this? I recall Kwekumote's nephew, the immigration officer.
Who was shot dead.
Who was shot dead. You know, Bawku is closer to, I think it's a border town.
They are closer to Burkina Faso.
Yes, and even Togo too,
Togo.
Yes, I think Pusigat and Togo.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay? And this guy he's been sent there by immigration service to check what comes in and then what's going out. A poor boy. You killed him. You killed him. Senselessly. Cold blood.
Can we not stop this? Can we not put it to an end? The
No,
government
but
has imposed a curfew.
but you see, beyond the curfew, the government has soldiers there,
Yes.
police people there.
There was a recent detachment that was
Yes.
stationed.
There's a
To a point where even the police were involved in cocoa smuggling, and that they ran into conflict with the soldiers and the immigration service. the police detachment there, they were more concerned about smuggling cocoa to to Togo to go and sell. Yeah? That is what they are not concerned about, the security of the people. But what is even more disheartening, okay? Aside the fact that money keeps going to this thing every now and then, and the security people are paid. So what are they being paid for? And if they are there, how come they are killing 20 people within 24 hours or so?
Yeah.
So what are they doing? Have they also run and gone into hiding? Because if, Kweku, if they were very much alert and on the job, I'm not sure those students would have been killed. And again, there wouldn't be a reprisal attack on the other houses leading to additional deaths. Okay? Now, before then, they would also have known that this disputed chief that the people keep talking about was going to return to that area, and they would have foreseen that this is going to happen.
Yeah.
That tension was going to rise, because when he was out of the place there, I think things were okay.
Everything calmed, yeah.
So what happened to our state security agencies? Those in Accra and those over there.
Intelligence community. Yeah.
And see, a while ago we saw a memo, a national security memo or something, or Ministry of Finance memo, where huge sums of money were being pumped into that, into that area on quarterly basis. So the money just goes there and nobody is achieving any results. We are still where we are. People are being killed. Students who had gone to school. See, Bawku, when you talk to some of the guys, they tell you that it's a ghost town. It's
At the
dead.
moment?
Yes. They tell you that it's a ghost town. So maybe the peace saw some of the people returning to the area.
Yeah, because
However,
at the point it was also very vibrant.
yes. However, border towns the world over are, business areas. Go to Elubo, go to Aflao, go to which other town around the Upper East, that area there.
Is it Pusiga?
It could be Pusiga or something.
No.
At the border.
Yeah.
Navrongo. Paga.
Okay, Paga, yes, Paga. These are vibrant areas where people are making a lot of money, paying taxes, across the world, because these other countries bringing something, you are also having to trade with them. But how worse is this? See, so Bawku people, they can't see what is happening in other traditional areas. They can't see what is happening in other traditional areas where chiefs are leading development. They are making statements, telling politicians what is wrong with them and what are the things they need, the resources that they need to make their localities better. Their children are in school, okay, or their children are of school going age, so they need schools. Their roads are bad, and so they need good roads. They need this, they need that, they need that. That is what a chief is supposed to do. You are not supposed to go to war. At this day and age, nobody goes to war. For what? What are you fighting? What are they fighting over? Both sides. What are they fighting over? Because for how long would you continue to be killing yourselves? 20 people.
Yeah.
And like I'm saying, if the security people, they are not, they are there, but nothing is being done, then we should advise ourselves.
Well, what can we do?
What can we do?
Yes, what can we do?
You need to wake them up to see the reality of life. That you can't continue to be killing yourselves. That they should look at what's happening in other traditional areas and how they are projecting themselves. Asantehene is all over the place. Ochihene is all over the place. Dogbey Street and the rest are all over the place. Afede is all over the place. And anytime they mount platforms, they are applying what? Soft power. And using that as a means of attracting investment to their localities and making their society better. I mean, what would it profit you as a man or as a man wearing a certain crown when you don't have people around you who project whatever power it is that you are exuding.
Yeah.
Bring the people together. Let them appreciate where we are. And at the 21st century or wherever we are, it's not about killing yourselves. You are not at war. We left that era long ago. We are making ourselves better. I mean, why? Teachers can't go to Bawku and teach anymore. Because they fear they will be killed. Although they are not involved in the Kusasi and, is it Mamprugu or something? Or Mamprushi kind of, whatever it is. For how long would you continue to be killing yourselves? For what?
All right.
Oh, no, man.
Larry, thank you very much.
This is all from there.
Yeah. Before we ask...
Is it a war situation?
Well, there's all kinds of things that are going on. So before Mr. Richard Mensah gives his comments, we'll take a quick break and we'll be right back. Before we went for the break, Larry Dogbey was sharing his thoughts on the Bawku conflict and the curfew that has been imposed by the government. And I want to hear from Richard Mensah.
Well, you see, this whole Bawku thing is very complex that meets the eye. Very, very complex. There's the issue of identity, there's the issue of culture, and all this in snowballing into this conflict. A lot has gone in there in terms of trying to find solutions to it, but all these are undermined by the preferences of some few group of people who endanger the lives of all. I remember reading something from Cletus Avoka. He's written extensively on it. In fact, his thesis on there's a thesis attributed to him that captures the Bawku conflict and what needs to be done. And many people have preferred what actually needs to be done to ensure that peace returns to Bawku. It's really, really very unfortunate. The Bawku township, if you've been there before, is a very beautiful town.
Oh, you've been to Bawku before?
And it used to be a transnational business center because of its closeness to Togo and then Burkina Faso. So the Bawku township served as that, and it was very busy town with very lively people. Since the start of this conflict, the whole structure there has been just destroyed. In fact, it got to a time that the two groups of people, that is the Sasis and Mamprusis, couldn't mix. So you have the market, the Sasi market, the Mamprugu market.
Wow.
Even with transportation, it was that. And
Like
you can imagine,
like Rwanda.
Yeah, you can imagine how it would destroy the whole economy there. And as we speak now, you see, the economy there is destroyed. Health infrastructure non-existent because we post doctors there, nobody wants to go. Because when the conflict happens like that, your whole plan is just thrown overboard, and you are likely to become a victim. Like he mentioned, the immigration officer who was a victim. It was not because he was targeted, but he fell into their own shootings, and then what happened? Is gone. Education is just so non-existent because you can't thrive in such chaos. So teachers who are posted there, in fact, with the highest of incentive, are even refusing to go. I remember the last time this conflict escalated, we spoke to some teachers and all who had to relocate to Bolga. They had to relocate to Bolga. It left everything that they have in there just to relocate to Bolga. In fact, in the process of relocating, some of them had an unfortunate accident. Would I say an accident? No, it was a shootout. Yes, and then one nurse and then I think a teacher also were killed in that. So now you imagine the trauma with the others who will be left. Will you go back? No. What do you do to your children there? When this thing happens, what happens? The schools are just not allowed to function. But there's a bigger danger here if we allow this to fester. Look, the military is there. There's a barracks there, and rightly so. There must be there's a whole battalion there, stationed there for the purposes for the purposes of this maintaining the peace over there, and also taking into consideration cross-border raids and then the dangers now being faced by Togo and then Benin. You know what? The jihadis have taken control over Burkina, that part, and then Togo. And one way or the other. You know, the last time the police, immigration, and customs were involved in that unfortunate brawl,
the cocoa
just 100 or 200 meters away from where they were having that brawl, the jihadis were raiding a village, and they were seeing them. Wow. Yes.
A Ghanaian village?
No, across the Burkina side. Just 100 meters. So they could see that there's confusion here, but they are also concentrating on the thing. What will happen is that, you see, the situation, if allowed to fester, will create enough grounds for this kind of terrorists to infiltrate. Just last week, one of our ambassadors, and then there was a UN report which says that the jihadis find our place as a safe haven, so they really wouldn't want to disturb it. But the danger here is that you now have people who can easily infiltrate with arms and just get the people who are involved into the conflict, get them armed, and then they will continue with that. And this must stop. But how do we stop it without engaging fruitfully the others? For instance, national security, I think, must be up and doing. I would be shocked if they come out to say, although they won't come out. So I imagine I would be shocked to get the news that they were unaware of the movement of the one who got inside Bawku now, and then the troubles is happening. Okay. I'll be shocked that the chief, the alleged chief got in there. What prevented us from? What prevented us from stopping that move? What prevented the system from stopping that move, especially with the kind of the kind of resources we pump into this? Because you see, the point is that the state's responsibility to take care of its citizens. There's no way the state will just lift its hands and throw its hands in the air and say that what can come. No, it can't happen like that. So definitely we have to, but it takes resources that can be dedicated to the development of the people, the same people we are protecting. That those resources will be used to feed soldiers, will be used to do other things so that your peace is guaranteed. But the nexus of this is that this particular problem can be easily solved if all stakeholders are engaged and then the right things are done. Well, I understand that there are some of the cases that has been to court. It's been court back and forth and all that. But I guess if anybody takes a good read about what Cletus Avocat and co have written, there's a clear plan of how to deal with it. It just needs commitments of people. You see, for all you know, like I'm saying now, is there any economy in Bawku? Non-existent. So what are you fighting for? You get me? But that is not also to excuse the sentiments of the people. No. But guess what? This particular action is impoverishing the same people you want to rule over, or the same people you want to govern. These particular actions of yours, I mean the people and those who are involved in the conflict, it's not all of them. It's just some entrenched positions that have been taken that is leading us here. But what I will plead with the national security apparatus is that this must be taken seriously, especially having in mind the threat of terrorist activities just around that area. And it's not something they don't know. They know, they see, like the example I said, they see. And so therefore, you would want to be very careful, handle this in such a manner that there will not be infiltration from these terrorists to come and undermine our democracy and even further undermine the security of the people living there.
Okay, thank you.